It's hard to admit, even to yourself. Maybe they didn't really love me. That can't be true though, right? They're your parents. They said they loved you. But with narcissistic parents, love often isn't about you. It's about how you make them look. Their parenting comes from ego, not instinct. More about control and image than connection. So even if they said, I love you, it often came with strings. Approval was conditional. Affection was performance-based. And that can leave a child questioning what love really means. Do you find yourself questioning if your relationship is abusive? Take our Is My Relationship Abusive quiz and take the first step toward understanding your situation. Narcissistic parents are obsessed with how things look, not how things are. They treat their children like trophies, decorations to enhance their public image. You got good grades? They bragged about it. You looked put together in public? That meant they were a great parent, but at home, the emotional atmosphere was cold, or worse, chaotic. You may have heard them say, I love you, but it came with strings, performance-based praise, love that you had to earn. And if you ever questioned their authority or disappointed them, the love vanished or turned into rage. That's not love, that's possession. Real love sees the other person. It accepts their needs, their feelings, their growth. But narcissistic parents don't see their kids that way. They see them as mirrors, reflections of themselves. And when the child starts to grow into someone different, someone with their own boundaries or opinions, the parent fights it. They punish independence. They reward compliance. They shape you into what makes them feel powerful, admired, or validated. If you were the high-achieving child constantly striving to make them proud, you probably weren't doing it for fun. You were trying to stay safe, trying to earn love in a home where it was conditional. Narcissistic parents often put on a show of affection, especially in public. That hug in front of family, that smile at your graduation. But the real motive wasn't connection, it was reputation. In private, those same parents might criticize, ignore, or belittle you. That contrast creates confusion. They're not always bad, you think. Maybe I'm just being too sensitive, but you're not. You're trying to make sense of affection that isn't consistent. That confusion is the trauma. The damage doesn't stay in childhood. That early lesson that love is something you perform for often follows you into adult relationships. Maybe you find yourself people-pleasing, overachieving, or constantly doubting your worth. Maybe you end up with partners who treat you just like they did, critical when you don't measure up, loving when you're useful. And you wonder, why do I keep choosing people who don't really see me? The truth is, if your first example of love was manipulation, it makes sense that you'd confuse intensity with intimacy. The good news, you get to see it now. And once you see it, you can start choosing something different. If you've been navigating life after narcissistic parenting, you're not alone. Breaking the cycle starts with seeing it for what it really was. And if you're co-parenting with a narcissistic ex, we have a separate video on parallel parenting that gives practical steps for protecting yourself and your child. Thank you for watching. Download our free resources, which will help you understand the patterns of abuse, spot the warning signs, and take your first steps toward reclaiming your strength and autonomy. Please raise awareness by sharing with others. You can also like or subscribe if it is safe to do so. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to check out related videos. See you in the next video.